my beans? Can we get a... Yeah! Let's go! Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Hello, everybody. How are we? And look who's here. Little Milkshake has joined us today. Hello, little buddy. Hello. Oh, there's a big old battle for dad jokes going on in the chat. I can see that already. Oh, how are we all doing, everybody? I hope we are all doing good. And Super Weasel with a 63-month sub. That is crazy. Thank you so much. How are you, my friend? I hope you are well. Tell you what, let me move that chat bar. Maybe... where should I put the chat? I want to put the chat bar so it's not in Milkshake's way. That's the plan. So you can see the glorious, lovely Milkshake. That's what we want to see, right? There we go. There he is. There's our little Milkshake. Yeah. Hello, little buddy. There he is. Oh, how are we all doing, everybody? I hope we are doing good. Hello to you all. Yeah, I hope everyone is doing fantastic. We have got Scrot getting in on the first. How are we doing, Scrot, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Super Weasel in shortly afterwards. Hello, of course. The dad joke battle then began. Cooper Shell, welcome on in. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Frogs, hello to you. How are we doing? I hope you're doing fantastic. You can try to bury the redeem and channel point notifications, but I'll always be there to catch them. Ooh, the gauntlet has been thrown. It's Sunday, my dudes. Wait a minute. Wait. Definitely not Sunday. Otherwise, I have very messed up my week. How are you, Shrimp? I hope you're doing good, my friend. How are we doing? So many things. Lots of redeems. Lots of posture jacks. Some dad jokes. Some stretches. A lot was going to throw it in there. And, oh... yeah, no dad jokes here. Oh, damn it. So many dad jokes being redeemed on that one. I'll hydrate. I've got to hydrate as well. I've got a hydration. There we go.
I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Newbie's like, always watching, Wazowski. Always watching. I love it. How are you doing, Newbie? I hope you're doing fantastic. How are you, my friend? I hope you're doing good. Where are we at? Let me try and catch up with everything here. Another dad joke battle went on. Super Weasel was like, no dad jokes. No. None for those. Chris, welcome on in over on YouTube. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Bob, hello to you also. I hope you're doing well. Hello. How are we? Where are we? I'm just trying to catch back up with chat. There's so much to go through. Here. Trying to catch up. I love the way the dad joke battle is still ongoing. It's like, no, I will redeem dad jokes. No, the dad jokes will get cancelled. So much going on there. Newbie, how are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the 50 biddies. Thank you, much appreciated. How are we? I hope you are doing good. Catching back up with everything here now. Where are we at? Rusty coming on in as well with a 53-month sub. Thank you so much. I hope D&D Lurky Lurk goes well. How are we? I hope you are doing well. How are we? Trying to catch back up, make sure I've got everything, I think. Hello, Milkshake. You having a little fussy fuss there. And I don't think, though, from what I can tell, that a dad joke sneaked through, which means no dad jokes now. No. But some pets went through, so some little pets for Milkshake. Hello, little buddy. Hello. He's getting some little petaroonies. And I was just about to put him on the big camera, and I realised I haven't set up the big camera, because there's a bit of a rush today for stream. But yeah, what has everybody been getting up to? How are we all doing? I hope everyone's doing fantastic. If I've missed anything in chat, don't worry, I'll catch up in a mo. Go away. Why is my phone trying to update a million updates? What are you doing to me? Why do you do this? It's always the way. It's like, I'm in a rush. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try and pepper you with about 50 different updates. You're like, no, please no. But yes, where are we at here? I can see people are like, hold on, I'm going to slip in some dad jokes here. No, the dad jokes got cancelled. We can't read the dad jokes. That's the problem. The punishment's worse for me, trust me. I love my dad jokes. But yes. But yeah, your Milkshake. Little milkshakey boy. Let's tell you what, as we switch over to here, we can put on Milkshake's special little camera then, just for him. If we switch over to this side. Oh, come on, that's very wonky, that is. Ah! I knocked over lots of things. Where's Milkshake's camera on the other side of it? There he is. He's like, Father, I'm not in frame. There he is. There's our little boy. Oh. But yeah, how are we all doing? I hope we're all doing well. Yeah, it is Wednesday, and I was really at a loss of what to work on today. I'll be really honest. I was like, we've been working on Custodes for a little bit, so I was like, we probably should finish these. And then there was a little part of me going, ooh, I've got a bit of an itch to maybe play some Dawn of War. I've been really enjoying watching a lot of the basically, because Gamescom this weekend, so we watched the opening night live last night, which was really good to watch and see basically all the new stuff that's going to be coming out. So my brain is a little bit like, oh, maybe I should have played some video games.
Pudding!
Well, no, because a newbie gifting a sub to the community. Thank you so much to Howlets. Enjoy your sub. Thank you so much to Pushes the Hype Train and Shrimp. Thank you for the 35-month sub, Aruni. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. That is brilliant. Sorry, Milkshake's got something stuck in his coat. Thank you so much. You guys are too kind. Thank you so much. Oh, but yeah, I hope we are all doing good. And Super Weasel for the 100 biddies as well. What is happening? Everything's kicking off. Verity, hello to you. Oh, I feel like my bot has just updated and gone, hey, you missed all these messages, and it's just spammed them through. And I'm like, yeah. But I'd love to know what you're all hoping to work on this evening. Are you doing some miniature painting? Are you just here for the vibes and to hang out? How are we? How are we all doing? Have we all recovered from the tragic news this week? There's been a lot. There's been a lot of tragic news this week. But in the miniatures world, we said goodbye to the last boxed dreadnought. How are we? How are we all feeling about this? It was the last boxed dreadnought. Was officially now added to Legends for Space Marines, which was very sad. It was, it's been a long time coming. At the start of 8th edition, they kind of they announced that basically most of the Space Marines were, basically all of the other dreadnoughts were basically going to be retired off anyway, and the only kit that remained was the Venerable Dreadnought, which was now becoming just called Dreadnought. So it lost its venerability, which is very sad. But yeah, I feel like it's a bit of a sad one, isn't it, to know that we've kind of lost a dread. Which is one of those. And I know the box noughts are so iconic for so many of us. So many of us. But yeah, there's been a lot of other in pop culture. I feel like there's been a lot of pop culture things going on in terms of, unfortunately, we've lost a few greats this week. But you know us here, we try and keep it as positive as we can and on topic. So we're going to keep it miniature related. That's what we're going to be doing. I can already see people going, whoa, what about these celebrities? But I'm like, hold on. we keep it miniature related where we can. But in all fairness, RIP to Dolly Parton and Tim Curry. That's very sad. But to be big losses this week. But yes, so why is my headphones being... Oh, Milkshake, have you been playing with the cable? There he is. But yes. But yeah, I hope we're all doing good. Where are we? Just trying to catch up with things very much here. Hey, little buddy. Just catching up with the chat. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, so for anyone who had missed it, they basically confirmed what was going into Legends now over on the Space Marine side. Which is sad. Feels like a poor phrasing with the big celebrity deaths yesterday and today. That's true. That's why I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. But yeah. Hey, buddy. You having a good rub there? You get to see Milkshake out the corner of my eye just rubbing himself on a Primaris Space Marine. But yeah. Little guy, bless him. But yeah, what do we think about all the stuff that's slowly being... Well, I say slowly. That's most of the Firstborn stuff now has been moved to Legends. How are we feeling about this? I feel like it's a good conversation to kind of have. I mean, for anyone who missed the article, let's bring up the article on here and kick off chatting about that. So this was the article in question. So yeah, where basically they and the big say drama. I don't want to say. I just say the term drama loosely. End of the day, this is all about a plastic miniatures game. Milkshake, no. Oh, he's so sad. No, you can't come across here because you'll hurt yourself. There's too many things. I've got like a craft knife and stuff on the desk. But yeah, I guess like one of the we've known for a long time that they were going to be phased out, but I think the big kind of drama that kind of happened around this, and it was a bit of a shock, was the fact that they added dreadnoughts afterwards, if that makes any sense. So, like, the dreadnoughts were added to this list very late, which is, I think, is what threw a lot of people. It definitely threw me. I was like, what? Say what now? I was very thrown by this. I was very thrown by the fact that dreadnoughts weren't on the list originally. So, I'm kind of like, but yeah, it's a very, very odd one. Thank you, everybody, for the hype train on Twitch. Thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. Oh, hey, buddy. Thank you so much. But yeah, effectively, for anyone who had missed the announcement, so there was a big Space Marine 2 announcement on Monday. Space Marines announcement. There was 2 announcements on Monday. One for a new Space Marine captain on bike, and the other basically talking about the profile update. So let's talk about the positive stuff. So, Intercessors and most Space Marines are now going to be Toughness 5 or above. Scout-based ones, like Phobos armor, they're going to be Toughness 4 still, which kind of makes sense. They're in the lighter armor. And their now weapons are going to be either Strength 6 or Strength 5, depending on the weapon. And they're meleeing at Strength 5 as well. They really shaped up how Marines were. Oh, bye, Milkshake. Oh. Milkshake doesn't want to hang out and talk about Space Marines. Okay, let me just let him out of the room. You don't want to talk about Space Marines? He just turned around and looked at the door like... Rawr. You don't want to talk about Space Marines, Milkshake. Okay, there you go, out you go. Well, it was nice to have Milkshake for the short period of time we had him. We're back. So we had him for a little bit. But yeah, ultimately, it's a big update for Space Marines, and kind of probably a long overdue one. We've been kind of waiting for a lot of this stuff to drop. But I think it's interesting to see so many of these updates now. And I'm quite hyped for it. I feel like it's going to give a lot more kind of... What's the word for it? Diversity. We're going to see a little bit more diversity in Space Marine lists now, rather than just kind of a lot, because Space Marine lists for a long time became, I'm taking Intercessors or something because I have to take them, and then I want to fill it out with other units. By making base units a bit more viable and tough, I'm hoping we might see a little bit more, I don't want to say full horde list for Space Marines, but I feel like we're going to see a little bit of variety here. Yeah, and the fact that like Phobos ones are going to be Toughness 4, I like the idea that they're going to be, because they're more scout-based, they move faster, because they're now going to have an 8-inch move rather than a 6. So I feel like some good updates. Oh, I like the emote you got. Button mash. Go, 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 go. And then, of course, we got onto the bits of them saying, importantly here, that Heretic Astartes and Codex Divergent chapters will get similar boosts, which has a few people in the comments to the video about this on Instagram and TikTok made some really valid points that I hadn't thought about. Mainly, if standard Marines have gone up to Toughness 5 and Terminators have gone up to Toughness 6, what does that mean for Death Guard? Because that's wild. Like, you gotta think Death Guard at this point, they are gonna be like, what? Like, Death Guard are gonna be crazy at this stage, because they're going to be very much like, are they going to be baseline, you know, T5 and 6, or are they going to be like Toughness 6, maybe Toughness 7 for some of the heavy stuff? Because normally, taking a model with the Mark of Nurgle pretty much guarantees you that you're going to get an extra Toughness boon somewhere along the line. So I'm just like, that's it. T7 Terminators for Nurgle is what I'm thinking. That's going to be absolute Death Shroud Terminators at Toughness 7. They're going to be insane. They're going to be so crazy. But I don't know. I don't know if would they just do the easy route of just giving everything a bump, or are they going to think about it a bit more, give them some more rules around, you know, kind of like they are harder to hit, maybe. There's a lot of that going around with Nurgle and Death Guard lately. They're so swarmed with flies and bugs and everything that they are, what's the word for it? They are, my brain then just went the words. You know, they're... Why is my brain not clicking on this one? Words are hard. they're just basically harder to hit. I don't know why I was struggling so much on words there. So that's definitely fascinating. I'm very intrigued to see if that is going to be the case. And then you've got things, how is it going to factor in with stuff like, I mean, there's so much to factor in here. Like Zeech, Slanesh, Emperor's Children, are they going to get a really big, Phobos Marines move at 8 inches are now like flawless blades? Are they going to be toughness 5 but moving at that same speed? I'm really fascinated to know what this has, the knock-on for the other ones. So, but as with the cool new stuff, so must some stuff retire and be retired off. So if you guys haven't seen the list about what's being retired, we're going to chat about it now. So the first one is there's 2 types of legend here. So the first one is what they're calling legendary proxies, which basically means that these units here are leaving the codex, but they will still be models that you could use them as, is kind of the theory. So the main ones being things like you could use name characters like Uriel Ventress and Pedro Cantor. You can use those as captains. Like that's going to be completely fine, and it's not going to cause any problems at like match play level or anything along those lines. Some of the others are a little bit more interesting. The middle one there, the Suppressor Squad, counting as an Inceptor Squad, is interesting. I am wondering, are they just going to like bin off suppressors, or are they going to merge the weapons that the suppressors have? So suppressors being a kit from not that long ago. I mean, the kit's, 6 years old for suppressors? It came out around the same time as Phobos Marines, so it was pre-COVID. So, yeah, maybe 7 years old. It was kind of halfway through. It was the Shadow Spear box, wasn't it? Was it the Shadow Spear? Yeah, I think it was the Shadow Spear box that they came in. With all the Phobos Marines. And I liked suppressors. They were kind of fun. But they never really found a place, and they never got a kit released for them separately. So I guess they just sort of went, you know what, let's just cut our losses in this one. The fact that they could be Inceptors, I wonder if we're going to see those cool autocannons maybe on the Inceptors. And then you've got Devastators for Desolations and Intercessors versus Tactical. There's a few nuances there that aren't going to quite be the same. So things like Tactical Marines can take a heavy weapon and a special weapon, whereas Intercessors can't. Maybe we're going to see that change for the Intercessor Squad. Are we going to see more options for Intercessors? Who knows? And then, of course, when we get chatting about Marines, we got to talk about what we're saying goodbye to. And now, I want to say a point here I want to make really clearly is like, we say goodbye to these models from the Codex. However, there is not goodbye forever. And that doesn't mean I'm thinking they're going to get a re-release. Some of them maybe. I'm talking about this is only if they are no longer going to be in the Codex, therefore they will not be included when they're thinking about the balance of the game and data slates and various things along those ones, like formations, that sort of like. They are, however, going to be 100% playable with your friends and at casual tournaments, because they are all going to get legend rules. And I don't think we talk about this enough when it comes to the legend rules, so I want to kind of jump over and have a look at the rules. Because the legend rules basically are in these faction packs. So let's take the Space Marines one, wherever that's disappeared off to. Where are you, Space Marines? And let's just do a bit of a scroll down on this one, because I want to talk about this, because I don't think this has been, I think this has been slightly blown out of proportion online, of a lot of people basically saying they're going to get rid of their armies, that the game's dead, and things like that. So this here, this contents page, I want to talk about this. So you've got 30 pages basically of detachments. You've then got a bunch of basically updated Space Marine like faction pack things. So these are things that they basically have had models, or maybe they've had updates. So you're talking there's another about 25 pages worth. You've got a little bit of information here about Imperial armor, and then some rules. And then at page 65, the Legends data sheet starts. So at page 65, this document is 219 pages long. So, quite literally, 75% of this book, of this PDF, is nothing but Legends datasheets. And it's like really important that we talk about that, because I've seen a lot of people going, oh, I'm going to have to get rid of my army, from both new and old players alike. Sort of going, old players go, right, that's it, my army's dead now, I'm not going to be able to run it anymore. You're not going to be able to run it at a competitive tournament. And if you're playing at competitive tournaments, then I feel you, that does kind of suck. If you're not playing at competitive tournaments, you can still play casually with your friends. That isn't going to be an issue. So, like, you've literally got, from page 65 onwards, this is nothing but Legends datasheets. And there's stuff in here that hasn't had, that was put into Legends at like the start of 8th edition. And bearing in mind, at the start of 8th edition, everything had rules. And they literally went back through the history books, they found almost every single model, or every single kit that they'd ever made a model for, and a few that they hadn't. And they basically put their stat sheets in those indexes, where you had like the Imperium Index, you had the Xenos 1, Xenos 2, you had Chaos, and basically there was these big indexes that had every single data sheet in it. And then they said, look, you're getting it all here. As we release the codexes, you'll notice that some of these are missing, because otherwise the codexes will be like 500 pages long for certain factions. But there's one in here I think is really important to talk about. That's probably one of the best old ones, the old example here. So a Mortis Dreadnought with Inferno cannons. That hasn't been around for ages. You're talking early editions here, the Mortis Dreadnought was a thing. You've got the Deimos Predators and the Deimos Rhinos that can be ran from Heresy. Venerable Chaplain Dreadnoughts. There's perfectly playable rules here to play with your friends, and there isn't an issue with it. You've got, you know, as you're going through, you've got the old land speeders, named characters from various factions. There's a lot in here. So you know, I want to kind of put a nice, like, positive spin on some stuff here, where a lot of people are kind of thinking, oh, my army's useless, I can't play things anymore. That isn't the case. It is very much just a case of there's nothing stopping you from downloading these rules and playing with them with friends. And you've got to think as well that these rules, they're free, which is really cool. There's a whole army's worth of stuff here to play for free. I want to touch on that as well as a different way to play the game. There's a whole army's worth of stuff here for free, and on top of that, like, they get updated at the start of each edition. So when this went from 8th edition to 9th, all the Legends data sheets got updated. When it went 9th to 10th, and the rules changed a little bit, and we got rid of things like, there was a few like changes where they added in OC and leadership values changed, they updated them. At the start of 11th, when these codexes release, these will also still be updated. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't do that, because they've been doing it for, you know, as a precedent kind of going backwards. So things like this classic Imperial Space Marine, which was a commemorative model, the Imperial Space Marine was. It was a commemorative model for the 25th anniversary, I think it was, of Warhammer 40,000, 25th or 20th. And it had a really unique disintegrator weapon with it. It was a one single Space Marine on its own. That's all it was. It was kind of like a semi-character. It was like a lieutenant or you know, lieutenant, that sort of style. This still has rules and is playable in now 11th edition. So, yeah, real want to shout out about that bit, because I think it's really important that we do highlight that up. Whilst it is sad that in the codexes, the box noughts and these models now won't be here anymore, there's absolutely nothing stopping you playing this unless you're playing at competitive levels. And you've got to think as well, Games Workshop analyse the data, because if something, say, like Hammerfall bunkers, which are on the list here, so let's switch back to this page. Sorry, I'm very chatty today. We go back here to the Hammerfall bunkers, for example. The Hammerfall bunker here is probably one of the newest kits on this, which is now being moved to Legends. It's about 6 years old. It's actually at the point where this goes into Legends, it will be exactly 6 years old. October 2020, this model was released. If the Hammerfall bunker was incredibly powerful at and getting loads and loads of sales, because it was really good at playing at like either competitive or tournament play, or it was just really popular with like with the casual hobbyists who just play at their local club and just play games, like, it wouldn't be retired off. They're obviously making this kit and no one's buying it, so they're going, look, we've got to make a monetary decision here at some point. We you know, we're going to flog a dead horse here. But the people who do have them are still able to play them. So it you know, it's one of those. It's a good thing. You know, it's a good thing that they still support it. They could you know, I've had a lot of comments from people basically on the posts I've done, basically saying, you know, oh, bad guys, Games Workshop, they're just doing this for the money, they're just forcing people to buy loads of new models. Nothing here is forcing anyone to buy anything new. And I've been really, really like, I want to be a bit of an advocate for that, because I want to be like, nothing here is stopping you from buying something new. If anything, your older stuff is now just a bit more collectible, right? You know, that's kind of an upside. Sorry, my headphone cable is trapped around the arm of my chair, so I haven't got much movement. There we go. Hey, and at the point where they introduced Primaris Marines was 10 years ago. We've had a phased 10 years of we all knew Firstborns would slowly be phased out. We knew it was going to happen. Everyone's talked about it. We've had 10 years. They could have, if they were doing this for like a money grab and they really didn't care about supporting the community and things, they could have gone, it's 8th edition, everybody. Turn off the tap. Firstborns don't exist. Everything's now a Primaris. Buy all the new kits. All your armies are invalid. But that isn't what they've done. And I want to be real like positive about this, because I think there is a lot of negativity going on about this at the minute. I opened up my YouTube Shorts today on my lunch break, and literally the first video that came up was like, what, everything wrong with Games Workshop, and then the next video was like Games Workshop kills Space Marine faction, and it's all these kind of negativity clickbaity things for it, and that's why I want to chat about these quite a bit. Hey Tizzo, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. How are we? I hope you're doing well, my friend. I imagine that GW has gone through the tournament submitted Space Marine army list for the past like 3+ years, seeing that these units just aren't being used, and decided to stop producing them because players aren't buying or playing with them, so why keep making them? 100%. I think that's exactly what they've done, and rather than just go, okay, these are gone now, you can't use them anymore, they've gone, these are no longer going to be available to purchase. I think that's the bit I'm more sad about, is that these aren't available to purchase, but then at the same time, some of these models have been out for 10, 20... longer than I've been in the hobby, yet I didn't buy any, so I feel like I was never going to buy one, right? And there's a lot of they've got to make a decision. Ultimately, they are a business. It is what it is, and the codex needs thinning out. The Space Marine Codex is one of the largest ones. Stuff's going to get thinned out eventually, so I just think it's important to talk about it. It doesn't take away the sting that the initial gut reaction is, no, they got rid of my models, no. They've made it so your models are now no longer available to be played in official sanctioned tournaments, because only codex models that are in the codexes for match play are able to be used because of the balancing issue. But they have gone, but hey, you see all this stuff, here's all the free rules for it. Which takes me back to the bit I want to talk about. The real positive bit here that I think is really cool. There is officially, in these faction packs, especially this Space Marine one, right here, the core rules of Warhammer 40k are free. Okay? Core rules are free to download. This PDF, which is free to download from Warhammer community, is 219 pages long, and from page 65 onwards are free rules. There is nothing stopping you at this point to go, I'm not going to buy the 11th edition codex because I don't want to play 11th edition. This is just like, as you go, you could say, I'm not interested in the 11th edition for whatever reason. You go, I'm just not fussed, it's not my jam. Okay, cool. But you can download this for free, and you don't have to buy any models. You can play with all of the old models you've still collected, and you can download the core rules for free. And you can be like, whilst there's nothing in the new codex I want to buy, because I'm not a big fan for whatever reason of whatever model it is, or whatever, whatever your reason is, could just be a financial reason. Boom. Here is over, 219 minus 65, so you're talking, that's 154 pages of rules. If everyone is a double page, then that's 76 pages of rules. 77 pages of rules. Amazing, right? It's so much fun. I feel like this is the bit I want to kind of be like, there's good things that are available. Whilst it is still sad, it's still pretty cool though that you can still do all this stuff. Anyway, that's my little rant about that. My positive take, and that's my positive hot take. But yes. Tizzo is painting my 40k list that has not been touched by the data slate. Oh, because all the data slates dropped today as well. There's been so much news for 40k this week. What army are you working on? Flyers have been a constant battle to balance for competitive play, so I can see where they've been legended. Yeah, I feel that's definitely one of the reasons there. The Razorback was one of my favourite Rhino pattern tanks, so I'm sad to see it go, but this does open the slot for new tanks. Yes, that's it. They could now put new tanks into these slots. One of the big things is that a lot of people have noticed the Rhino, whilst almost every Rhino chassis is on here, the Rhino itself isn't. So a little bit of information on that is the fact that the Space Marine Rhino has been... So there's a photo on Warhammer Community. There's a photo on Warhammer Community that... Warhammer Academy that has assault intercessors getting out of a Rhino. So it's not like a leak or anything, it's just a photo in one of the videos on the Warhammer Academy, and that's free to go and watch that video. Then in the comment section of the Facebook posts about this particular article here, people have said, hey, I noticed the Rhino's not on the list. Will Rhinos be updated? Or are we going to get a new kit? Can they take Primaris Marines? And Warhammer Community themselves have commented on multiple posts saying that, yes, we have confirmed that Primaris Space Marines are going to be able to go inside a Rhino. So your Rhinos are still all good. But yeah, they're not the Razorback, but the Rhinos are all good. So yeah. Leading to the Damned using Dark Angel rules. Oh, that sounds really fun. Ooh, I like that. That sounds cool. Legion to the Damned. Yeah, classic Legion of the Damned. They were so much fun. But yeah. So there we go. That's what I wanted to chat a little bit about, because there's been a load of stuff. Of course, today there's been a ridiculous amount of balance data sheets as well. So you've got a 40k August balance data sheet that's dropped. A Kill Team data sheet that's dropped. We got to look at the 2 new minis. Well, this is the new Captain on Bike. It is a Captain on Bike. It does what it does. I wasn't expecting anything completely like... A Captain on Bike was never going to win Model of the Year. There's nothing wrong with this model. It's very pretty. I like the adornments it's done to the bike. These little wings on here and the little eagle head for the Aquila at the front very much remind me of Sylvester Stallone's Judge Dredd bike from his Judge Dredd film. They really do remind me of that. It's really cool. Nice kit added. We've needed a captain on bike. We've got a captain on bike. We now have a captain, a chaplain, captain, chaplain, new outriders. We don't have a librarian on bike, do we? I don't think. Not sure if there is. Am I still in the disco? Like Panic at the Disco? Still at the disco? I'm like, my brain's like, huh? Disco or do you mean Discord? Not sure. Exclamation mark Discord to find out if you're still in there or not. It should be nice and easy. But yeah, I know you've been working on that army for a while, because I think it was... Cool, when was it? I remember at one point you were building High Elves for the Old World. Disco! Thank you for that, newbie. But yeah, because I remember, I think it was yourself, Tizzo. Were you working on elves for the Old World? Because I think I remember you were doing teal. I don't know. I'm crawling back at memories here. I had the High Elves built but not painted. Fair on that one. But yeah, bikes. I think So I'm wondering now, with Corsaro Khan, could you potentially have a full bike White Scars list? That could be very cool. Then, of course, we got our new minis for Warhammer Plus. Which, actually, I had an email about before saying my Warhammer Plus subscription had ended. But it was on auto-renew, so I'm very confused if that has ended. I'm like, what? What is happening now? What? There's a big competition as well. If you subscribe to Warhammer Plus... and you do so and log into your My Warhammer account before 11:59 PM UK time on the 15th of September, you will win a ruckload of stuff. Basically, a giant pile of things. So it's like, boom. I also high elves for Blood Bowl. Ooh, nice. I put my line in finished models. Nice. I'll check that out after stream. If you ever want to get your stuff in when we bring it up on stream, we still do that every single Sunday. So it's always our Sunday showcase. So > Sunday, and you can pop stuff into the Sunday showcase section. And on Friday stream this week, it is whips. So we do whips every other week. So if you've got any whips, whack them on it. But yes. Only because I literally don't have Discord open right now. That's the main reason for it. But yeah, so I'm hyped to do, so we're going to go through whips on Friday, which is going to be good fun. Whips. Well, hello, Ape of Justice. Hello, my friend. Hello. How are we doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. How are things? I hope you're doing good. We were just talking through the RIP to the Dreadnoughts. But what, to the Venerable Dreadnought, anyway. And then we were just going, ooh, look, new shiny models. How are you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. But yeah, we were doing our positive spin on Legend rules, and I feel like, yeah, it's a good time. I feel like, you know, doing a few things like stuff needs to be phased out eventually. And we had a good run for a lot of them. Unless you're a Space Wolf. That is very true. Yeah, Space Wolf, that's one thing that's been good to clarify as well with people, is that the list in question, this, where's it gone? This list in question is just Space Marines base codex. I've seen a lot of people go, no, my Bjorn, they just released a book for him. And I'm like, Bjorn hasn't been affected. This is only talking about the Space Marine core codex. So I wonder if we'll get a funky new sculpt for Bjorn. It'll be kind of nice.
Pudding!
Hey, thank you so much for a 65-month sub. That is a big number. That is Unga Booga Big. That is over 5 years. That is crazy. Thank you so much, my friend. Oh, thank you so much. That wholesome. There's some big subs today. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm alright, matey. Busy as always. That is fair. Me fair that. Yeah. Yep. Always busy. Oh. But yeah, we were just chatting about the this on here, and then what we did. Yeah, I haven't looked at the data slates yet. I've not read through them enough to chat about them on stream. If anyone has read the data slates and they want to know if anything cool happened, or then let me know, because I've just not sat and read through it. That's all yet. So I was like, I kind of finished work, and after a day of staring at various automations and Excel sheets, I was like, yeah, nah, my brain ain't looking through data sheets right now. Yes, woohoo! That's gonna be awesome. I saw the news. Yes, that's gonna be amazing, eh? Yes, that's gonna be cool. I hope. Are you excited to move back? All good? Is it nothing untoward happening which is causing the move back? Hopefully, all good, positive moves back. That's what I want to check. Because I don't think you were down there forever, it wasn't until placement was finished. Right, where were we? We're looking at Custodians Dreadnoughts. Yeah, all good stuff, nothing's bad. Good. I always like to check. I was just like, oh, yeah, cool. Just gotta check these things, you never know. Like, moving back because of bad reason, then I'll be like, But yeah. Oh, excuse me. I don't feel a big yawn there. Right, sleepy kitty. But today though we are going to be working on. I wasn't really sure what to do today. Part of me was going to play some Dawn of War Definitive Edition, but then I was like, I really need to finish this this Dreadnought that we started on Friday's stream. So Friday we finished building him. We got the gold. We got the primer, the brown, the first layer of gold, and the shade on it. Sunday stream we applied all the marble work and did some highlights on this. So now I want to put in a bit more colour. Is that the plastic Contemptor? How's the model? I'm looking to get. I want to magnetize. It's a nice model. It's a little bit Like, it's one of those ones where when I was following the instructions, I had to stop and reread it a few times. Because I definitely ended up putting these joints, because, like, this connection and this elbow here, this elbow is about 6 pieces, which is kind of wild, because it's like, the top joint is a piece each, this is like a cap that covers some other parts, and I ended up putting both arms on the wrong way around when I stuck it over here. So hence why that's looking a little bit on the rougher side. But otherwise, it's a nice kit. I did and ah about magnetizing it, but I knew I wanted the sword and shield, so I was like, let's just go. So I was just like, for it. I mean, I don't know if even from this stage, I wonder if I still could magnetize technically. Just looking at the sprues, because you still get quite a lot of spare stuff for the big dread spear. I mean, I guess technically, I think it is probably possible to do so because they've got different hands for each kit. But no, it's definitely a nice kit. It comes with a lot of accessories to make the model look a little bit more detailed, which is nice. You know, make it look a little bit more venerable for the custodes. I forgot you were working on custodes. Are you hyped for the new box that's going up for pre-order this weekend? Checking the arms. I just don't know. I'm trying to work out if any of them cross over together. Yeah, so you only get, in terms of the magnetizing, you only get 2 ball joints which go in the shoulder socket. But I think you basically you'll swap the weapon when it comes to the spear. It looks like you'll be able to swap the hands, which is very cool. I think probably doable. I think I think my brain isn't awake enough right now. Yeah, because the hands slot into these joints here, I think that would be fairly doable to do. Actually, that's a lot easier to do than I thought it was going to be. I'm kind of intrigued to know if I can magnetize it now, because I thought the spear was held in 2 hands. If it's only held in 1 hand, and that hand is still on the sprue, why would I not magnetize it, right? That would make way more sense. Hey, Maggots! How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Always lovely seeing you. How are you, mate? How are we? Decided that my army is going to be on a winter basis to contrast with the black and reds and oranges. Ooh, I like that. That sounds real cool. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds wicked. Are you thinking like winter as in snow or ice, or a bit of both? Hey, newbie, how you doing? What do I say? How you doing? I've always said hello to you. I meant to. I was for some reason my brain was still on the how you doing for maggots. I've had a new buff from the railway. Good email. I'm hoping. Ooh. Where are we? All good. How is everyone? We're all right. We're good. We're plodding along, as we do. Plod along. There's a lot happening in the background. That as soon as I know more, I'll be able to tell you more. But hopefully I'll have some news in the next couple of weeks. But we're all good. We're all good. We're all alive. We're all alive, and I'm still bald. Hasn't grown back yet. I was looking at the weapon sprue for the regular Contemptor, so I could have my Custodian's Venerable Contemptor look like a fancy one. Ooh, I like that. Rather than the same body as the Space Marine one. That's fair. I mean, size-wise, if I've got the Heresy one here, for my Iron Hands, they're very comparable. Like, size-wise for it. So I don't see, because it's a Contemptor chassis, isn't it? It's going to be the same. So I feel like that'll be easy to do. I feel like it should be definitely doable. A bit of both, a bit of ice, a bit of snow. Oh, yeah. Was it? I passed my assessment. I have a certificate. I can now do work on the railway. Hell yes, newbie. Let's get some fanfare. That's awesome for you. Hell yes. Love it, love it. That is awesome. When do you, have you got you just got to pick like a start date now for your volunteering? That's such good news. It's the exact same kit for the custodial one. Yeah. I feel like in that case they're going to be by putting at least standing side by side, they're going to be the same height, which is good. I always forget about putting the Custodes Venerable Dreads in, so I love that idea. That's very, very cool. I'm just like, ooh. Now my brain's like, ooh. I need to find out who I contact about picking the society I want to work with. Are you still thinking going for the diesel trains? Or are you thinking maybe a little bit of steam? But yeah, my custodies are slowly coming along. We've got, as you can see, I've gone for a lot of marble style. So yes, for our custodies, so we've got the first like sodality unit, which has been kind of nice and fun to do. I mean, pretty much this whole thing has been experimenting with new techniques. I hadn't done the marbling really before. You know, I'd done it once before, but I was never happy with the output. And then I was like, right, I'm gonna force myself, because my 40k custodies all had helmets, because I didn't want to put I didn't want to paint faces. So this one I'm like, right, if it's got a face, I'm gonna paint faces. And then I'm really happy with how it turned out on the vehicle. I'm really happy with this. I thought this came together really, really well. So I'm kind of hyped for the new for when the box goes up for pre-order on Saturday. If I can hopefully get one, if I'm able to, because then I can do the other skimmer in the same style. That's what I'm kind of hoping for here. So I'm like, ooh. So it's been a really fairly straightforward gold recipe. Just most of it's just dry brushed, which has been really cool. Hey Sanjuro, how are you, my friend? I hope you're doing well. How goes it? How goes it? Right, before I do anything, I need to finish painting in the shade around this gold before I put in the gloss. Because I need to put the gloss on the marble, but I need to put the shade on first. So, the society you want to look for has diesel and steam. Oh, so you get both. They also happen to have to look after my favourite steam engine, so I get to work with them. Ooh. Well, fingers crossed. It feels weird when you say like a society. It's like we must join this train society. I'm like, feels like you're what's the word for it? What's the Greek society in America, and they're like colleges. It's like, wait a minute. So let's just try and fill these in a bit. Or maybe gone a bit dark on that. Just putting the wash on here to make this stand out a bit better. But that's amazing news, though. Yeah, hopefully you you can get yourself sorted and be. I know you've been so excited to volunteer on the trains. That is brilliant. See, if that already didn't make the move worth it, if all the other positive stuff that's happened your way didn't make the move worth it, that's definitely got to be a nice, big smile brought to your face. Let's wash on here. It was the biggest thing to bring me up here. Hell yes. Everything's coming up newbie. I love it. How are you all settling into the new place anyway? You've been in there a little while now. Are you all settled in? The hobby room all at the ready? Or are you still like, no, there's still more you want to do? I'm gonna look and lie down in the bedroom. A headache. You can. Oh no! Do you need If you need any painkillers or anything, that you know where they are. But let me know if you need anything though, Verdi. I'm sorry you're having the headaches kicking your butt. I know that is never easy when that happens. It's all Milkshake's fault. Milkshake me out of Verdi and triggered a headache. He has a very distinctive, unique meow, which he does on occasion, which is just the right. It's almost like nails on a chalkboard meow. There's a weird point where he just happens to hit the my eye. Yeah, it was 3 months on Sunday, so pretty much settled. Blimey. So I can't believe I actually did the move. It's so much easier to keep doing the same stuff day after. Oh, right. That is it. The fact that you were like, nope, that's it. I'm going to do the move was amazing. It's such like a big brave step. And it's like, and I know how nervous you were about it for a long time, so I'm glad it is all working out. And that is it sometimes. It's, what did they say? Was it comfort is the enemy of progress sometimes? It's like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but sometimes you can be a bit like, stepping out your comfort zone can be good. It can be good, it can be bad, but there's like, you never know until you try. So that's all. I'm so glad that it's worked out for you, because I know how nervous you were. He's on here. It's nearly there with the wash just over the filigree. Them on there. Okay, nearly there. That was me before, making sure I spent all this time doing this, and then I went, now I'm going to spray over it with marble and use dry wipes. I was like, oh no. Kept thinking I was doing the right thing, doing the right thing, and now I'm up here, and the thing I've wanted to do for years is coming by. It shows me I did the right thing. Hell yes. Yeah, hell yeah, I love it. There we go, right. That can settle now. Once that wash is dried, I think they'll be able to make the gold pop a little bit more on there. Yeah, sorry, lots of things. Never have to say sorry. Never at all. Never have to say sorry. But yeah, I hope we're all, I hope everyone else is doing good. I hope we're all good. I feel like, oh, I must remember, I haven't filmed a pack today. I must remember, I need to film a pack after stream. My pack a day. I was like, what am I on now? 238 days? Day 238? Which is terrifying to think that's the day of the year it is. A pack of Magic the Gathering every day was my goal this year. An expensive goal, but it is a goal nonetheless. And yeah, today will be day 238. I've got a big spreadsheet with all the days, all the packs I've opened. And it's a bank holiday weekend this weekend. Has anyone got anything fun planned in for their bank holiday if you're UK based and you're partaking? As long as it isn't John Carpenter's the thing, you're fine. I know, that's the thing that would scare you. You're like, oh no. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Like, oh no, it's the next thing. Yo, no. Wow. So now we're going to pop the gloss bits on these bases. Actually, no, I'm going to do all the gloss together, so I might as well finish this base off first. Just trying to work out how much extra. Let me just put a bit of that shade on here onto the gold. This is the base for the shield captain that comes in the box. Pirate ship is coming to town, so I'll be visiting that Monday. Oh, that's so cool! That is very cool. For some reason, my brain was like, I know you said pirate ship, but my brain just was like, I've forgotten in every way, shape, or form what a pirate ship looks like. I don't know why. My brain was like, wait a minute, wait a moment. But otherwise, though, are you doing well, matey? I hope you're all right. I hope Book's all good. I hope she's feeling better. Last time she was a little bit like that. I know we say it every time, but we will play another game of Magic at some point. To be honest, I've only played once in the last 3 months playing Magic, just because I haven't had now I'm without a car, frustratingly. It's very hard for me to get over to Magic, so it's like, no. I want to darken some of these other areas, so like the marble just looks a bit rougher in texture in places. We're good. Playing Magic Online last night with some mates. Hell yes! I'm glad you're all good. What you running in the mood? Were you doing Commander, or were you doing something else? And I'm trying to think. I've got so many Magic decks I want to build at the minute. Every time I pull a cool card from these like Pack a Day episodes, I'm like, oh, I can build something around that. I mean, Monday's Pack a Day episode was really good. Like, I feel Final Fantasy came in clutch on Monday. We pulled some heat with that really gorgeous Sephiroth. It was like, whoa! Commander did a Marvel draft a few weeks ago and just didn't vibe with it at all. I didn't do the Marvel pre-release or draft, and I didn't make it to the Hobbit one either. I'm really looking forward to Reality Fracture, because I've pre-ordered quite a bit of that set, and I'm really excited and really hopeful that's going to be a really fun set to draft and play limited in, because it's one of my favourite modes to play, so I'm really hoping that comes out well. So yeah, fingers crossed on that. So that's what I'm really hoping for anyway. I always get put against a lad that oh no, that's a Magic champion. Oh no! So you always get paired up and you're like, oh great, like this should be fun, but darn it, you. Yeah, so just grabbing a wash, a little glass. Well, I guess they didn't want me to use it. Think Sunday we'll venture into Edinburgh and see if any shows are still on. And Monday I'll be writing the remaining bit of my Ghostbusters RPG. Ooh, that sounds really cool. I do love Edinburgh. I do love going up and visiting friends. I always end up going down to the what's it called? It's the board game shop in Leith. Oh, what's it called? It's gonna really bug me. I'm gonna wrap up there because they normally have, and I always get tempted by I can't remember what it's called. There's a really cool board game shop that sells like Magic, and then at the back of it has all its Warhammer and its paints and everything like that. It's really, really nice. I just can't remember what it's called. Oh, why does my brain not remember what it's called? Yeah, how have you been infected? Have you been affected by the Fringe? Because obviously I know it's mad up there when it's Fringe. It is Fringe, isn't it, this weekend? This week. I'm sure it is. Well, these 2 weeks. Looking at selling most of my collection, though. Prices are getting out of hand. It's an interesting one with Magic, because I'm kind of like... I'm very... Obviously, opening packs all the time. I've got like a massive pile of cards, but I also feel like it's going the other way. I feel they're reprinting so much at the moment. There's a lot of like cards that were in my binder where I had a binder for anything that was you know, kind of double, triple sleeved in there. That was anything over like 50 quid. I would say easily about half of that is now worth less than a tenner because of like they are reprinting a bit, quite a bit, which is on one hand great for availability. I want more fun decks to play against, but kind of sucks from a collector point of view where I'm like, ooh, these are my special cards. I'm going to put them in my binder. Doesn't stop them being any more special, but it is because sometimes you look at it and you go, maybe it's time to sell it up, you know, sort of thing. It's a tricky one, but on the other side, the fact stuff's more available, it's not too bad. There's a card show in Leicester on Saturday. Oh man, there's so many good card shows at this time of the year, and I'm really sad that I don't have a car anymore. I want to be able to drive to places. Ancient Robot Cafe. Is that what it is? Is that the place in Leith? I can't remember what it's called. Is that what it is? Are you still unlucky with the car? Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, still. Yes, that is the one in Leith. Yes, I was just double checking what it was called. I'm pretty sure it's the one there. Where are we? Yes, yeah, that is the one. I always end up wandering on down there and picking up some like magic packs or maybe a cheeky board game. I always like it when you walk in. There's the two Warhammer tables that people are always playing on. I'm like, ooh. Yeah, I'm still unlucky with my car, so I'm having a bit of bad luck with my car at the moment. Obviously, it failed its MOT. It's not really financially viable to repair. The car was 10 years old when I bought the car. So it's an old car, and I've had it for 10 years. It's got over 120,000 miles on it, and it's just one of those. The problem with it is, even if I put the money in to repair it, I bought the car at a time when I had to drive a couple of miles every day to work. I now don't. So it spends so much of its time just sat there, and especially for a diesel, it's like the worst thing. But it's such a cheap little runaround. It's a nice Ford Fiesta, which means that I can kind of like it cost me like 20 quid a year to tax it. It's nothing. It's really cheap to insure. But the worst thing you can do with it is just have it sat on the side, sat on the driveway, and so. Yeah, it's kind of, even if I get it repaired, I reckon I'll still be in the same position in a year's time. So I'm like, at the moment, I'm kind of carless, which, you know, and if I need to get anywhere, I'll train it. It does make things a bit difficult for work, because sometimes I would drive and see clients, and now I'm just kind of like, speak to me on Teams. So, yeah. Get a scooter like all the kids. Yeah, could do. Although I don't think Verity would appreciate her being on the back of the scooter. I can't keep up with all the sets. The endless hype for sets burns me out. I am finding, like, at the moment, I've been more selective this year about what I've got my hype for. So, like, I really enjoyed Laura at the start of the year. And then I enjoyed them, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I know a lot of people didn't. I really liked it as a Universes Beyond and as a fun set. And then it was Secrets of Strixhaven. I had a lot of fun with that. I didn't really do much with Marvel superheroes. I bought a few packs. I wasn't. It was less of a theme or a problem with Marvel itself. For me, it was just there was nothing much in the set that would enhance any of my decks, nor did I want to build a deck around anything, except for maybe Molecule Man, but he's pretty easy to pick up. So yeah, and then I'm trying to think what else. The Hobbit. The Hobbit's interested me a bit because I managed to pick up a couple of collector boosters for the Hobbit, and a bundle. And that's kind of ticked me over. I'm fine, but I was never massively invested in Lord of the Rings when that came out either. Nice sets, just I'm alright. But Reality Fracture, I'm really hyped for because I love the theme of that set. You know, that's gonna be fun. And then after that, it's Star Trek, which I think I'm definitely gonna pick up a couple of bits for because I like Star Trek. Next year looks like a nice bunch of sets. The fact they've gone back down to 6 sets next year, which is good. Although technically this year we still have 4 more sets to release, which is kind of wild. because we've still got in 2026 for Magic. We still have Reality Fracture next month, and we have Star Trek at the end of the year. And in between them, we have Mystery Booster Commander Edition, which is going to be released as part of a you can buy on Secret Lair as part of a festival in a box. There's also now the new Zeta set that they've announced, which is kind of taking inspiration for how they made the Alpha and Beta set, by kind of like using that art style to do a bunch of reprints. But they're going to be booster packs that are £19.92 or $19.92 to celebrate 1992 when they did the set. And they're going to be available through Secret Lair. So it's technically, there's still 4 more sets this year, which means this year we would have had 9 sets. 10 if you count the Mystery Booster 2 stuff from that also dropped from Las Vegas Festival in a Box and Amsterdam Festival in a Box. Technically there would have been 10 sets, which is too many. Next year there's going to be 3 base sets and 3 Universes Beyond, and I feel like that's a happy medium. 1 every 2 months. I think that's a happy medium. Obviously there'll still be some other spin-off stuff, but yeah, I can get it though. Sometimes hype is just a bit too. You ends up becoming a bit white noise. Like I got very disenfranchised with Marvel and Hobbit. Hobbit particularly kind of knocked me off a bit, and I feel like it's a hard one because I think it's good that they have the ambassador program in terms of like getting people packs to people and getting people in the community who like really love the hobby like chatting about it and opening packs. I do like that, but the fact that I was seeing people open Hobbit collector packs like 4 weeks before the set was even at pre-release, I was like, my brain was like, I've got to wait because I'm not going to a pre-release. I've literally got to wait until actual release date. I got a bit burnt out by it, so I can get that. Speaking of packs, newbie, you have redeemed Crack a Pack. Dun, 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 dun. I think I only have Universes Beyond packs, my friend. I think I do. I think I've got 4 Universes Beyond packs available today. I haven't got. I have others, but they're in the other room. But this is what I have to hand. Newbie, would you like Marvel Superheroes, The Hobbit, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or Spider-Man? What would you like me to crack? Let me know which one you would like. I've been avoiding Edinburgh due to the festival and part of Princess. I forgot about the fire at Princess Street. That's wild. Are they going to restore the buildings? Do we know? Or do we know what's going to go? Let's go for the Hobbit. I haven't seen those. Hobbit it is. There we go. Hobbit. So yeah, Hobbit was released literally this month. It's basically cards from The Hobbit. Kind of, to be fair, they've already done the Lord of the Rings before, so this is kind of covering the other book. I'm kind of hyped to see what we can pull from here. Probably the best pull in The Hobbit. Gleaming Splendor, one of the Smaug cards. We could, in a play booster, potentially pull a book cover art, which would be really nice. I'd like to have, if we can pull it, maybe the Arkenstone. That would be really nice to pull. But let's have a look and see what we get. It's a really nice set, The Hobbit. I think I'm just a bit like, it's nice. It's a nice set. There's a lot of people have been really hyped for it, and I feel like it's really nice that I love seeing people get excited. But for me, I'm just kind of like, I don't think I've ever been. I enjoy Lord of the Rings. I don't think I enjoy it as much as many others. Like, there's nothing against it. I think it's just one of those. I enjoy it. I feel like it's a great piece of literature. Thank you for that, newbie. The Hobbit dubstep. But yeah, I feel like it's just one of the. I'm not as like. There's a lot of people in my friendship circle who are very, very much, they love it, and I love their enthusiasm for it. But I feel like I'm. Sometimes I realise, when you ever get that feeling where you're like, oh, I like something, and then you meet people who really like something. There's very much that. This is more of one of those characters, those areas for me. I can't justify spending more money on magic. Oh no, what have you bought? What have you been buying? The Hobbit's been very kind to you. What have you pulled, Super Weasel? What have you been pulling? Speaking of pulls, so we see what we get. Kicking off, we have Pinecone Strike. Bjorn, the Reluctant Host. Big Bjorn. Long Lake Nuisance. Old Thrush. Sounds like something you need to go and speak to the doctor about. Esgaroth Garrison. Oh, I love the shields and stuff on those. They're really cool. Front Porch Sentries. Ragged Short Spear. Bomber, Gentle Dreamer. I love the nod to this because there's a bit in the book that I don't think it's really done in the film where Bomber he falls asleep and they have to carry him for like a bit of the journey because he sleeps so much. So it's always good. It makes me laugh. Elven Raft Steerer. Ooh, Blue Landfall. That's really nice. Oh, that can be brutal, especially just whenever a land you control is just keep tapping a creature an opponent controls, tap them down and then swing for the win. That's really nice. Boifer, Melodic Rider. Mirkwood Pathmaker. Classic. One where it's equal to the number of lands you control. I think the rare's next. Oh! Oh, that is a good pull. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, that's... I need a sleeve. That's really nice. This is one of the book cover arts. That is lovely. Why do I always pull the best stuff on stream? you guys know how to pick the packs on my pile. Oh, I love this. The book cover art is brilliant. I love that. That's gorgeous. So Gandalf, Goblin's Bane. Ooh, that's so pretty. That's really, really, really nice. You're welcome. Oh, that's nice. That's a nice pull. Very nice pull to get. Will we get a double rare? No, we got a little bear, not a double rare. Little bear. A plains. Really nice plains there. And then a treasure token, which is also a goblin army. Ooh, that is a nice pull. I love the fact that they made it so...
What can I say except you're welcome for the tides, the sun, the sky. Hey, it's okay, you're welcome.
I love it, thank you, newbie. Yeah, I love the fact that in this set they made it so you could get these nice artworks in the play boosters. Quite often these are normally hidden behind like collector booster paywall. So I love the fact that you can get these. You've got a higher chance of getting them in the collector boosters, and there's also a chance they could be foil or surge foil in the collector boosters, so I like that. But that's so nice. That's really nice. So I like this. That's nice. Which is pretty cool. So I like the fact that they're available on play boosters. Says the person who was saying how much longer he has to wait when watching Ambassadors show The Hobbit. What do you mean? I'm confused on this one. The set's been out for a while. Wait, you've lost me on this one, Sanjuro. What's the... You've lost me a bit on this one. The set's out and available to buy now. It was more the fact that people were opening these in the end of July, and the set didn't drop until, what? Or mid-July, and the set didn't drop till, like, what, 2 weeks ago? Like, for everyone to pick up. I feel I'm missing something, or I'm not reading something correctly. Or I forgot what I said just then. we at? Right, let's get back to some painting. And where is my thing gone? My brain is gone. Ow. Oh, my leg keeps going dead. Right, shall we get the gloss across this now? Let's pull all the blue tack off. Yeah. So I'm hoping, if we get lucky, I'm hoping on Saturday when the pre-orders go up, I'm able to pick up one of the new boxes. I'm really hoping we can, because it'd be great if we could. Yeah. Because I feel like I really want the new the new, I think it's more the Telemon. I already have a Forge World Telemon, but it'd be really nice to get the new plastic one. I feel like I'm kind of hyped by having it, and I'm hoping that we see 40k Custodes dropping soonish, or maybe the early part of next year. I'm really hoping we get them, because it's going to be nice. I feel as soon as the 40k Custodes comes out, it's going to be great, because I'm going to have my Heresy army painted, and I will have my one here for my for 40k as well, because I think the last time I really played 40k probably consistently was when I was running my Custodes army in 8th and 9th. Didn't really touch it much in 10th. I don't think I played 2 games of 10th edition. Mod Podge gloss. And let's grab that there. Whoa. Add a little bit of water to the Mod Podge just to have it nice and fluid. Hopefully means we'll get less bubbles in it. Might have added a bit too much water, but it'll be fine. Downside is once I pour this on, it takes forever to dry. It's like, no. Stirry. And what are we all thinking though about? Is anybody who's been watching, who watched Gamescom opening night live last night? Anybody see anything cool that they were announced, like they're really hyped for? I know there's a few fans of Final Fantasy in here, so I didn't know if anyone was hyped about the new, the latest reveal, or the latest trailer for Final Fantasy VII Revelations. Or I think probably the winners. Let's say the winners. I know it's not a competition, but I feel like for me the real winners were the let's push this around a little bit. Was CD Projekt Red, who basically have said that they not only have they remastered The Witcher 3, if you own The Witcher 3 on whatever platform you own it on, you're going to get The Witcher 3 remastered for free, which is wild. They just went, yeah, you can have it, and the expansions for The Witcher 3 are also free for anyone who owns just the base game. Which I feel is like mad, because they're releasing a new expansion for it. So so I was like, that's they're doing a lot of good work with that. No worries, newbie. We'll catch you later, my friend. Thank you so much for popping on in. Thank you for the gifted sub and all, and the biddies. And congratulations again. Honestly, I know how happy and I know how excited you were. Sorry, I'm just looking for a detail. I know how happy and excited you were about the idea of the prospect of being able to work on those trains. So I'm so happy that's worked out for you, buddy. But yeah, so massive congratulations again for that. Yep, I can't wait to get started. Hell, it will fly by. You'll be there faster than you know it. But yeah, enjoy your rest up, my friend, and I will hopefully see you all on Friday. Put this back on here. I honestly thought, I was like, what is that? There's a mark on this. Nope, it was a crumb of a custard cream. The custard cream crumb would have ruined my nice flat marble. There we go. So that's just gonna, that's as that dries, that will make a nice slightly raised gloss surface. Which is going to be cool. I've got to now figure out how to get the gloss onto this. I don't know if Mod Podge is going to be the right move, or whether or not I'm probably better off just using a gloss varnish. I mean, we can try and brush on some Mod Podge. We've got a rough brush here. Downside of brushing it on because is I don't want any bubbles nor any brush strokes. I just want to kind of dapple this on. Dap, dap, dap. Yeah, hopefully it'll be fine. Lucky because the filigree stuff's raised. I've got a little bit of leeway here just to kind of dab in the gaps in between. Not impacting the filigree areas too much. So make sure these are nice and shiny because it's a marble. I feel like when they talk about the Imperial Palace and all these there's marble everywhere. They must have mined the galaxy out of all of its natural marble at this point, or they've got a way to create fake marble or synthetic marble. The idea that there's somebody spending their entire life on a planet for the Imperium, going all they're doing is making marble for decorations. It's like, poor guys. Oops. I think it's hopefully I might have to put it as flat as I can on there. Oh, there we go. Right, so marble applied. Hopefully now it's just a case of waiting for that to settle. Now, I've still got to decide what I'm going to do with this one, because I was originally going to paint in the stone different colours. But I'm feeling like if it is fallen marble with how much solid marble there'd be, I'm not sure if there would be. So I'm just going to apply a little bit of a light shade in places here, just to darken down a few areas. Natural sort of shadows. So hopefully I'm using the right. I don't think I'm using the right colour here. More of a neutral wash. That's got a slight brownish tinge to it that I don't really want. That might be better. Something like a generally just dark colour for it. A nice dark shade will do the job. Ooh, that was close. Nearly lost my brush. like even though it's marble, there'd still be like rough areas from where it fell, and it's, you know, naturally gathered in dust and debris from people walking on it. I'm hoping so anyway. That's what I'm thinking will be the way it works. And then I think that we're almost ready to glue the shield captain onto this base. I just need to double check if there's anything else I was going to add to her design. I don't think there was. Yeah, I think I finished off her Presidium shield. I'm not the happiest with it. I'm not a big fan of her shield where I added in the... Oh no, I've not finished her shield. I need to apply the scroll work to it. That's what I needed to do. I'm thinking to myself, I was like, what did I need to do on that? Ah, that's what I needed to do. Yeah, I feel that works a little bit nicer now. It's a little bit more defined. It's kind of like how we did it on the base of the tank, and we went round and we just kind of flooded in some areas where there would be like shadows. I think this is working out okay. Let's get that on there. So we're nearly there for this. That just needs to sit and dry. Once that's dry, I can pour on the gloss. So let's just pop that off. Dry over there. So much drying today. Oops. Let's put that there and there. So jumping back over to the captain. I need to do the scroll on her shoulder, and what if I'm going to put something on that plate. It's not overly happy with that center. I feel like I chose the wrong color decal with that gold. It looks nice against the purple, but it doesn't look quite right against the white. Something for me to kind of work out. Luckily, there was a nice transfer sheet here, so I can put some words on that shield. Oh, it's the Dreadnought transfer sheet, but I feel I can put some of those on the what's the vehicle transfer sheet as well. So it's a nice set of stuff, but I feel like I can pick some of this. Probably one of these. I'm trying to think what would be the words to put on there. Let's go with Calistar. That looks quite cool. So let's pick that up. Now there's the question: where did I put my craft knife? There it is. Normally it's like, oh no, I've got to use the craft knife. I have no idea where I put it. Problems are occurring. Mod that up so I don't accidentally get this on here. Done. I think that'll be the right size for that, I think. Well, we can cut it out and place it over there and see what we think. It's nice that we've got some nice transfers for the custodies. We didn't have any for a while, so it's nice that we've got some really cool ones. Especially with like lettering and stuff on there. Because we know with them being so all about their names and their titles that they earn. don't know if the tip of my knife is particularly sharp. I mean, I need to swap the blade at some point, which is fine. We've got spares to do that with. Oh yeah, no, I can see that. That's not particularly sharp. That's got a right bend in it. Oh. There we go. So now I need a little dish or something just to put some water in. And out a base. I think it's going to look kind of nice on there. I don't know if it'll be too... No, I don't think it'll fit on her shoulder pad. Which I probably need to neaten up. I've just realised how messy that shoulder pad robe is actually. That scroll work. I'm like, wait a second. Staring at my own work like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oops. Oops, that went on slightly wobbly. But I probably should have cut this in half. Maybe? Should have sliced into this slightly just so I could have had it working on that curve. Don't think that quite worked. Ah, come back here, you. Did I not manage to cut through that? Okay. I did. Oh no, I just messed up the cutting, that was the problem. That's my issue. I was looking at it and going, did I get that through okay? Yeah, no, I just messed it up. Shock of shocks. I wish these were slightly rounded like some of the ones you get for Blood Bowls. To be fair, I wonder if I've got an older sheet of the Blood Bowl ones I could do. Something slightly firmer. Probably not the knife, but I think that's all I've annoyingly got. I can't see where any of my tweezers are. Or my needle, from my spare needle from my airbrush. Hopefully I can find one. Oh, there's one. See if I can drag this about a little bit. Have it looking a little bit smarter. Desperately trying to get this looking like it's meant to go around. I think that's probably about as close as I'm going to get it. So over to some microsol and microset now just to clear that off. And stuff is great and it lasts forever. No, don't move it. No, what are you doing? I went too fast. Oh no, I applied the microsol too quickly and it wasn't as dry as I thought it had dried off, which meant that it slightly moved. So now I've got to mess around trying to reposition a little bit whilst the microsol is dissolving the clear bits. You try to slice in between the A and the S because there's only 8 characters on this. But in doing so, I slightly snipped off a small part of the A, which means that there's a weird black dot which is irritating me. It's fine, I can paint over it once this is settled into place, I hope. Just want to make sure it still looks like a coherent word. I'm not sure if we're now achieving that or not, or if I'm just making more mistakes by shoving it around. Should I have just left it? I think I'm slowly making it worse, but you know, I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it there. I keep tinkering with it because I'm just going to be like, otherwise I'm just going to make it way worse. I'm like, oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, I don't want to keep making that worse. I want to do look though at the rest of the Dreadnought sheet because I want to know what else is on here. There's a lot of cool decals on here that I'm not quite sure where they're going to fit on the Dreadnought. So I'm intrigued to know whereabouts these are going to sit. So many gems and stuff to paint on this thing though. There's a lot of work to get through on this. The houses for all the gems being in silver rather than gold will take its sweet time for me to pick out all these little bits and bobs. The brush a good wash because it was just dipped in the microsol. Washy, 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 wash. Let's move that over there. So let's pick out a couple of these nice little bits. What we were going to do. Like staring at some of the other ones I've painted to make sure I can remember what I painted what. Let's do these ropes the same colour. This really nice like metallic silver. That looks more like a metallic white, but that's fine by me. Hey, No Sound, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Howdy, howdy, howdy. How are you, my friend? Let's pep it in there. Doing great. Just got done stripping off some Terminators. Ooh, nice. What's the plan for the Terminators? What are you thinking? So I'm staring at all these bits of filigree and stuff and figuring out where I'm going to paint various silvers and golds. And start painting in these tube parts, getting them all in this nice and vibrant silver. Yeah, and hyped for the fact that Terminators are now going to be toughness 6. She's going to be wild. It's going to be nice. Hopefully a little bit more durable. I'm not sure if everything else is going to become slightly more killy to kind of like switch around for that, but otherwise it sounds cool. They were the first ones I ever painted, so they're kind of jank, so there's some stuff I saw online and we'll try and duplicate. Nice! Did you keep any of the old ones at all, or have you just gone, nah, we're just stripping them, start again? I always like keeping some of my old painted jank models just for a bit of nostalgic fun. That's just me. Yeah, it's not very often I repaint something. Not of my own, anyway. Keeping a captain is the analog for where I was at the start of it all, and the others will show progress thus far. That's fair. I like that. I like that way of doing it. That's exactly what I do. I keep some of my very old models, and just kind of like go, ooh, I've kept these old ones now. Look back at where I am at the moment. It's always good. It's always good to remember. I've got an old, very old RBT, sort of kind of like '01 Space Marine over here that I tried to turn into a Nurglified Death Guard, painted with bad paint and loads of blue tack and putty on it. I love keeping that on my desk just to be like, yeah, I remember these things. But have you got a colour scheme or a chapter in mind for your Terminators, or are you just messing around, having a bit of fun with some paint schemes and some techniques? Let's grab that on there. Pick those out. Sticking with the Raven Guard, but I'm going to try and keep it close to their OG colours, not my homebrew chapter. That's fair. It's yeah, some nice stuff you can do. I mean, black is a deceptively tricky colour to get right. So everyone's like, oh, just paint it, spray it black, boom, Raven Guard, spray it black, boom, Iron Hands. I'm like, no. There's always a lot more to it than that. So I'm hyped to see what you're going to be doing. And if you're tinkering with them now, we are doing whips on Friday this week. So it'll be our whips in the Discord on Friday stream. So if you have any whips for then, whack them in the Discord, and we'll be going through them on Friday. And slightly put too much silver in that corner bit at the top there, and these bits here at the back. On the side, and the Raven, so it's like a black blue, but maybe a tinge of deep purple. Ooh, that sounds really nice. Yeah, going on that more of the actual Raven feather color, which is kind of like black, but when the light hits it, it looks like it's got other colors. I like that idea. So you're thinking like ooh, there's different ways you could do that, because you could do a little bit of like clever zenithal with that. So you could like zenithal it like a nice purple and blue. So you could like prime it like a dark blue, and then with like splashes of purple, and then do like a zenithal down of the of like a really glossy black. Would look really cool, because then you've got that kind of almost like pearlescent-y vibe. Like when you're looking at the models from the top down, from like the table angle, they all look black. And then when you pick one up, you'll get the little hint of like the purple and the deep blue kind of like flicking through. That could be a really cool way of doing it if you're looking for a fast way of doing it. I mean, loads of different ways you could do it. There's some really nice pearlescent colours. If you're looking for that more like kind of chameleon one, would be really cool. Can I get a hoya? Hello, Johan. How you doing, my friend? Welcome on in. You can indeed get a hoya. How are you, buddy? How goes things? I hope you're well. Ooh, temptation here is because of this engine power at the back. Do I like kind of do like a nice blue engine glow? Ooh, I could do. Might be more heat coming out of it rather than blue. Rather than sort of ionic blue, maybe like a... Ooh, I'm not sure. Let's just paint it silver first and see how I think. Yeah, that's interesting. Might try that. I'm not sure if I've got any deep blue primers though, so maybe I could just try a Crag blue and darken it with black just a touch. Yeah, definitely so. Have a bit of an experiment. If you've got some spare minis laying around, mess around with those first. If you don't have any, head to your local GW store for whatever the miniature of the month is. And well, I've started attending hobby nights on a Wednesday, so I got home about an hour ago and painting some orcs. Hell yes! That's awesome. I'm glad you got a space that you can go and hang out with every week. Is it like everybody sitting, chilling, and you doing painting, board games, card games, a little bit of everything? Yeah, kind of we have one of our friends host every week like a card game hangout. But otherwise we haven't really got an LGS here anymore, sadly. There's people trying to open one, but it's been so long in discussion I'm never sure if it's actually going to come to play. Hopefully it will do at some point. Let's get that on there. And seeing chilling painting, some people are playing Magic on the side. Nice. Oh, I love that. Yeah, we've had like used to have like a variety of different LGSs that have opened and closed over the years, but the most recent one they're looking for a new venue, whilst two other people are also trying to open them in our town. So we may end up with 3 opening simultaneously, which I don't know if we're going to be able to support. But the one that had a venue that had a pretty reasonable following, they keep doing like hangout nights, which is at a local restaurant, which is kind of nice. But I haven't managed to get down to one yet. They've only started them last week. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those. I think it's more of a race to whoever opens one first. The others might then take a step back. I'm not sure, but I feel they're almost all. I almost get the impression they're all waiting for the other person to pull the trigger. If that makes sense. Sure, I've got a lot of weekend ahead of me. I'm going to be stopping by a colleague's home on Sunday to hang out for a bit to help them paint their Necrons. Oh, that's awesome! What are they doing? Classic metal Necrons with green gorse, or are they doing something a little bit different? Not at the start, but I imagine over time it will be even more. Who facilitates the best environment for the community? Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, because I think it's going to sound really odd. I think the people who... To run a LGS, you have to be either passionate about the hobby. Basically, the best way to do it is in my opinion, 2 people need to open up an LGS store. One person who knows the community and knows the hobby, and the other person who knows business. I feel that's like, for me, is like the best happy medium, like to give people the best success rate, because ultimately, it is a business, right? It needs to run successfully and sustainably as a business, and quite often, I've been into a few LGSs over the years, and it's the sort of person who's kind of retired or semi-retired, or maybe has come into a bit of a windfall, who opens it and who wants a place to hang out and play games for themselves and their friends. If that makes any sense, rather than someone who's trying to foster a big community. So it's always a real tricky fine line. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. Thank you for the 7 stream streak, Johan. Much appreciated, my friend. Yeah, so I feel it's definitely tricky. I think you're 100% right. It comes down to who's going to basically work with the community. The downside in our area, and I think this has unfortunately been the downfall of the last 2 owners of our LGSs, is it's a very cliquey community. If that makes any sense. There's a lot of people who have a lot of strong opinions about what will work for the community and what won't. Which has, unfortunately, when they get the ear of the owner of the business, it very quickly goes downhill. But they're the sort of people who, when they talk about stuff, people tend to listen, and they are definitely shouldn't be. They're basically the last one that we had before the owner. So basically, we had an LGS. The owner basically ran the business into the ground, created a weird cult-like following of very cliquey, specific people who all ended up working there or volunteering there, who had their ear, and made them think, like, you know, and they did stuff that they wanted, and that made a lot of people not want to be there at the business anymore. They then ran the business to the ground. They sold the business to somebody else. That person exiled that cult and did well for a while, and then just, you know, generally naturally there was other reasons why that they closed down the second time, being things like, you know, just like that were not their fault. They closed, like, you know, they had to take a break. They were going to take a break. The person who was like championing the business had to take a break for health reasons. It was always a tricky one. So and then that made it, you know, it's a tricky area then. Yeah, very polarized. Exactly. Yeah, very much. There was very much a real, like, roughness to it in terms of, like, the, you know, and that's not saying that they were necessarily bad. When I described it as cult-like, that was the common conversation between a large vocal part of the community who we were like, yeah, we don't go there anymore. Why don't you go there anymore? Feels a bit like a cult. And the fact that there was, like, various groups of people, including people who visited the area, like, once or twice a year, picked up on that vibe very quickly, and used those words, was very much like, yeah, this is a bit rough. It's a bit of a, yeah. It sucks. You never want to see a business fail. Like, well, you never want to see good businesses that have a good foundation and community fail. So it was sad when it went, and a lot of people tried to basically do what they could to help, but it just didn't work out. I don't know, maybe if I win the lottery, I'll open one. I have barbecue, games, and good vibes. Triple G, grill, games, and good vibes. That's what it would be. Trying to have a look at this dreadnought. Is this all gold? This dreadnought, like in the pictures? Never really looked at the side profile of the Galatas dreadnought. Oh no, there's a lot more silver on there than I thought. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, so it's lovely to hear that you found a really nice LGS near you. They're really, really good. Like, we've got a couple that are like a little bit more driving distance away, but obviously for me it's not great because I don't have a car. Oh, how are you getting on with your car, by the way, Johan? I meant to ask, because I know you said it was in the shop for a while. It reminds me a bit like the hobby shop that we have. It's not necessarily measure taking, but it's very much the thought of a business where, as a business where they put the prices the same or higher than GW's own shop, but higher makes no sense. Warhammer isn't necessarily the selling point, but the owner is a fan of the franchise himself. So I'm stoked to have this new store because he wants to create community and space for people to hang out. I love that. Yeah, I love that. And I mean, I think for me, it's like there's very much. I definitely hear. I don't know if it's the same as where you are, but definitely here in the UK, there is a big. If an LGS store is selling it at RRP, they're normally ostracized by the community because most LGSs sell at 20% off. But sometimes I feel like there was an LGS that I went to, and they basically were getting into a massive argument because there was a big spat online where they're basically saying look, we've always charged MSRP for Warhammer. Like, everyone keeps coming in and going, why don't you do a discount? Why don't you do a discount? We do sales. Like, they do have the opportunity where they run sales, and they can but most of the time it's MSRP. And they do that because they've got to run a business, they've got to keep the lights on. Whereas there are a lot of other places supplement it somehow, where they sort of go, well, we're going to charge 20% less and try and sell more, or we're going to charge it 20% off with the hope that people come in and play games, or they buy other things for various bits here, and sometimes that doesn't work out. And I felt really sorry for this store because they were like, why are we having to justify our costs of what we sell things at? Like, MSRP, as long as you're selling it an MSRP, or lower, that's fine. It's when people sell stuff above MSRP, that's where I get a bit. Like, magic packs are a really tough one at the moment. There's so many stores who, just list their magic packs at market rates rather than MSRP, and I'm very much like, I get times are tough, but it feels scalpery to me. So, which is why I would normally always try and buy my packs from an LGS. Always, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't have anywhere really now that I can buy packs from at MSRP or lower that isn't a big chain. And if that means I buy a lot of my packs from places like Smith's Toy Stores or HMV or Zavvi and things like that, if I can get them at MSRP, I'd rather get them at MSRP than pay sometimes 2 times that, and literally there's not even an exaggeration, 50% to 2 times that amount. You know, a pack which is £24 because it's a collector pack, people try and sell it for 40. You know, it's tricky. It's different where it comes to things like if they turn around and go, this is an out of print product, so I've had to basically buy almost from a reseller, but I wanted people to have stock. I wanted to have this here. That's a bit different because, it's one of those. Okay, cool, but yeah, it's a rough one. Sorry, I'm very sassy tonight. Talked lots before about models going into Legends, and now I'm just being sassy. I think that's too much silver. I don't know, that's about right. My car is back, set me back. Oh, £3,800 repair cost, but it runs very well. Yeah, I'm glad it runs well, yeah, for that one. That sucks. Oof. They also sell magic boosters too, but above RRP as well, so I'm only going there if I need something on the same day and don't mind paying a slight premium for getting it now. Yeah, that's kind of like, I can get that. We have it's not an LGS, it's a shop that also sells Magic and Pokemon, but they don't have an official supplier, so they buy theirs from other retailers and then obviously mark up the prices, because so they are often then selling them at, say they've got packs they've got Avatar The Last Airbender packs, which are packs that you can normally pick up fairly close to MSRP because there was a lot of them printed and they weren't for everybody. I love them personally. They're selling those for $6.99 a pack, which is £1 more than MSRP at the time. And oops, that's the wrong colour. That was close. I almost put the wrong colour there on. So that's always a bit of a rough one because it's and they're like, oh, no one wants to buy Magic from us. It's yeah, that's probably why. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I get it, it's tough. Times are tough at this point, but I think maybe it's just me, I think when you're putting something pricing it higher than MSRP, I feel like you've really got to justify that. You know, like, yeah, even if you turn around and you go, right, to try and combat scalpers, we are selling these at MSRP, but we, or you know, or they sell them at an inflated rate, but they go, but if you know, like people where they go, oh yeah, if you buy it now and you rip it now, it's cheaper. But if you're buying it to take away and you want it sealed, you've got to pay more. It's unfortunate that happens, especially from me from a collector standpoint. But I can kind of live with in order to get the packs at a good price to start with if I want to open them. Packs of Bloom Burrows sell for like £7. Yeah. Like that's probably not too bad of a going rate for Bloom Burrow packs. Like, because it's now it's a set that came out last year. A lot of people have got them because they're buying them from like resellers or suppliers. I've had like a small second print run, and that second print run's normally marked up. That is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one. I got wrecked in Manchester. I got a standard Modern Horizons 3. Whoa, wait. Just a Modern Horizons 3 play booster for 30 quid. Not a collector booster, a play booster. Because that's a good price for a collector booster, but if that's a price for a play booster, that is nuts. Yeah, that is. I can fully understand that why you'd want to buy singles after that. That's wild. Play booster, what? Did you just not realise the price when you bought it? That's mad. I'm sorry. Was that if you were in Manchester, was that like Fanboy 3 or something? Or like or something or whatever. That's wild. Whoa. You, my friend, was robbed in broad daylight. Yeah, 100%. That's mad. Got other boosters in a secret layer with it, so didn't notice. That's nuts. Yeah, so you buy the secret layer, you buy the other boosters, they slip through a pack like that. I got a load of packs at once and there was no price on the boxes. Oof. Like, when I was at UK Games Expo, I definitely overpaid for some packs because I wanted, like, they were charging, say, 8 quid for packs that I know cost 6 quid. But I was like, but because they had a big selection, I was happy to pay that price because I wanted to open a variety of packs for my like pack a day challenge. I'm aware that if I'm buying, you know, these are packs that I wouldn't be able to get unless I buy them online. If I buy them online, I'm probably gonna have to pay shipping. So it kind of worked out about right. And there were some things I definitely overpaid for versus, like, you know, if I was going on something like Card Market and buying stuff peer to peer. But I could accept that. It's a convention, right? It was Fanboy 3. They're so bad. That's nuts. Yeah, by the time I'd notice, I'm petty enough to get back on the train and go back up there and go, oi, I'm 100% petty enough for that. Yeah, they're a weird one. Depending on which member of staff is on, depends on if you get really good service or terrible service in there. I don't quite understand what it is. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, dude. That sucks. Sucks so much. That's wild. Oh, we had a good pack opening before, though, Johan, in case you missed it. Newbie picked a pack for us to open. We opened a Hobbit Play Booster, and we pulled really well. It's a Hobbit Play Booster, and we ripped Gandalf, Goblin's Bane in a Play Booster. Ooh. Nice in that book art, right? That's stunning. It's a good pull. It's only my second book art I've got. So I'm like, yeah. And nice that it came out of a Play Booster. Well, technically it's my third book art, because I pulled 2 of the same in a collector booster. One in foil, one non-foil. Yeah. Oh, which is nice. We had one Gandalf, but what about a second Gandalf? Oh no, mine was we had one Lord of Eagles. How about a second Lord of Eagles? Yeah, I've got a couple of singles in my basket for payday, waiting to purchase them for one of my decks, which I think would be kind of fun. I've got a couple of deck ideas at the minute for building some new decks for. Oh yeah, you did make the meme for it. I was like, I remember seeing the meme somewhere. Yeah, I've got a few decks I want to run, but there's a few like cards where I'm like, I'm just gonna buy the singles because I really can't be bothered to mess around with that. I'm just like, yeah, singles will be fine. Have you built your Pauper EDH yet? Yeah, I've had my Pauper EDH for ages. I think. Have I had? Yeah, I've had my Pauper deck since the LGS was open. I've not built my Oathbreaker deck yet, though. That's one I've not built. My Pauper is built with it's the zombie guy from the Gleaming Overseer from the Gleaming Overseer from War of the Spark, where zombie tokens and zombie army tokens you have hexproof, so that works really, really well. I'm sure you've played against it. I know we were talking about me building another one. I haven't built the other one, if that's what you mean. Yeah, we'll have to test it out. I don't know if are you at Magic tomorrow, Super Weasel? Oh yeah, I remember. I won with Mazes End the other night with my Omo deck. Yes! Ah, Omo's fun. Omo's a fun one. Is it Tatiova Simic Lands? Oh, what, for Pauper? No. I've got, yeah, mine's the, white-black? Gleaming Overseer? I think it's white-black. Can't remember which one it was. Is it white-black? Or is it blue-black? Blue-black. Wait, I can't remember what colour Gleaming Overseer is. Blue-black. Yeah, when, this is what mine is. That's it. That's what my Pauper commander is. Although, weirdly, that's the art from the commander, the Aether Drift commander deck. Mine is the War of the Spark version. So, yeah, it's put it up on both screens. That's what I'm running. So you amass zombies when it enters, and it's quite cheap cost. And then zombie tokens have hexproof and menace, so the whole deck is built around building loads of either one giant big army that's really hard to kill, or lots of little tokens to kind of pester people and go wide. It's okay. It's alright. It takes a little while to get off the ground, but that's Pauper for you, right? Which is why it's a really nice fun build. I was weirdly thinking about that the other day, though, Super Weasels. Last week I was like, oh, maybe we should do a Pauper night or something to have a bit of a theme to our Thursdays of playing Commander. I think most of us have a Pauper Commander deck. Probably I want to give Miku another go. That's fair. If you are going, could I get another lift? But if you're not, that's also fine. It's like when we first met. We first became friends, and I was Carlos, and I was like, "Hello, friend." I do have Gazella and Bruno's build. Oh, that's a great build. Just got the deck cost of fortune, so it's proper put me off. Secret Lair versions too. Ooh. Yeah, I mean the main thing there is like it's not too bad if you're as like a project to build. You can proxy for now, and then when you're ready, just pick up the other cards you need. Well, you know, that's the whole point of a proxy, right? It's a temporary state of I'm going to have this here until I can get a hold of the other card, or I'm having this here while I test. That's what they're good for. think I'm adding enough silver to this. Ah, yes, back when we played Yu-Gi-Oh! That was the one. My little, when it was ridiculously impossible to find some of the gladiator beasts. So my entire gladiator beast, like, deck that had, like, that needed the 4 main gladiator beasts. They were so hard to find, so they were all of them in, just proxies. And I was like, I'm so sorry. But I mean, it's hard to find a bestiari or a laquari for some weird reason. Thank you. It's not my cup of tea, but if I were to build such a deck, it'd be tatty over. Do it. Pauper's so much fun, and it's a much more, because obviously you're limited to commons, and because you're not limited to the legendary creature rule for your commander, you can have so much more fun with that because there's so many more interesting builds I find that are like, oh, I haven't seen that before. So yeah, if you never get a group together to play Pauper, do it. It's so much fun. We'll have to try and set up playing Spell Table or something in the Discord. I keep saying this and I keep forgetting to do it, and because I'm just sort of like, I will do it at some point. I will do it. I'm gonna add it to my the area is set up and I have my setup ready. I just haven't done it. Maybe I'll put a date in the diary to be like, right, gonna play some Spell Table in the Discord. I play on Convoke now most weeks now. Oh, that's the other app you were talking about, wasn't it? Is it better than... Would you say it's better than Spell Table? The most fun deck I ever had was Ragavan with equipments and enchantments. Nothing as scary as double striking, trample 15/15 monkey with Annihilator. Super Weasel, can we just ban your hand for this? I force of will your remark. That's fine. Super Weasel will tap 6 persistent petitioners with Bruvac on the field and mill your entire library. Here's the response there. To be honest, one of the most fun decks I'm playing with at the moment is the Lorehold Precon with a few amendments. And I really like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Precon. It's such a good Precon. I'm having a lot of fun playing with that at the minute. I haven't finished building my Maha, the Endless Night one yet, because I just feel nobody's going to enjoy playing against that. So it's meant to be a casual game night, and if I just make everybody's creatures toughness 1, and then every time, and then everything just is constantly being blighted with -1/-1 counters, I don't think anyone's going to want to play. It'd be fun, but it'd be fun for me, just not anyone else. I've already got 1 meme deck as well. Mathemagic with Omo is my fave. WinCon, just draw 128 cards, please. Mathemagics is... I pulled so many of those from Secrets of Strixhaven. It's so funny. It was like... It almost became a bit of a meme that I was drawing so many Mathemagics. Neatening up some areas where I got a bit trigger happy with the silver. Okay, so I can wash that down now, I think. And then I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with the sword. I have no idea how I'm going to paint the sword for this. Because the blades on these at the minute are just very simple, just silver blades. But I would like to do more to them, but I'm trying to not spend ages on each one. I play redirect with deflecting swat, target Super Weasel, mill him out. That'd be fun one, actually. No, if you want to play fully silly meme decks, this is my favourite meme deck. This deck does nothing until turn 7. This deck literally does nothing till turn 7. This is my Tannock Memorial Ensign. So I can't bring him out till turn 3. And then whenever I play a land I control enters, I deal 1 damage to each opponent, and if it's the second time it happens, I draw a card. So I put him down, and then I've got to hope no one removes him. And then in turn 7, I play Cultivator Colossus. Right, that's the aim there. Yeah. So the light is very glary on those sleeves. So much for anti-glare sleeves, right? So yeah, so then I play Cultivator Colossus. Yeah, so yeah, that works. So Cultivator is, so it's power and toughness, so you cut to the number of lands. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant, right? All I do is I go, when this creature enters, I'm going to put a land from my hand onto the battlefield tapped. And if I do, I draw a card and repeat this process. So you think, okay, cool, you're going to do a bit of damage, some chip damage with lands. No, this is the beauty of this deck. In a 100 card deck, allow me to introduce you to my 1 commander, my 1 creature, and 98 lands. All 98 just basic lands, mountains and forests. This is all it is. So I'm just going to keep drawing, and unless you have more than 90 health, you're dead. This is my end of night, I don't know what I'm doing right now deck. The downside with this is, if you're playing anyone with interaction, if it's not the first time they've played it, they just know they're just gonna remove whatever you cast. Because I'm like, oh, if they kill the Cultivator Colossus, the game is over for me. There's nothing I can do. If they negate it or counter it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm dead. Like I'm out. Hey, welcome back, Rusty. How you doing, buddy? I hope you're doing well. Made it in time. Not stopping too long. Got a call during D&D from my local cinema saying I've been shortlisted for a job interview. Oh, Rusty, that's awesome. Fingers crossed. Good luck and everything for you. That's going to be awesome. Yeah. Is that later this week? That's awesome news for you, buddy. Hell yeah. I'll play... Yeah, this is a time-outable offense. My deck has Orcish Bowmasters, Tergrid, and Windfall on the same deck. See, I don't have a problem with decks that are that powerful. I do not have a problem with it, so long as that's made clear at the time of the table. It's when you sit down and someone's running that style of deck against people who are running precons. You're like, come on now. Like, do you really need to curb stomp people into oblivion? Like, really? Do you have a spare? Need one for Omnath? What for? Which one's that one? The Cultivator Colossus, or the a spare Cultivator, or a spare Tannock. In either way, I think the answer is no, but I can check my list. Tannock. I think I only have the 1 Tannock, and I think I only have that one because I think Dale gave you that. But I will check. I've just opened the new... I'll be opening more Edge of Eternity's pack soon because I've just opened the Play Booster box that I bought a while ago for pack a day. So yeah, I'll let you know if I pull another. I'll throw it to your ear. Thanks. It's only a few odd days here and there in the week, but I'll let me know if I have an interview. That's awesome though. That's great. That is nothing. I think working at cinema is so much fun. I've got a lot of friends who work at our local cinema, and they literally they love it. It's so much fun, and and also one of the perks is normally cheap cinema tickets, which is always a good bonus, right? Yeah, it don't matter if it's a few days here and there. That's awesome news for you, buddy. It was when I remember this is going to be a real throw, but there was a documentary years ago. It was on Channel 4, and it was when Heston tried to do better food at various outlets around the country, and one of the ones was that he teamed up with Cineworld, and he tried to make a better Cineworld thing. I remember the horror on his face when he realised that they would rather people drop an entire bag of popcorn on the floor than rip one of the bags, because the bags cost more to make than the popcorn did. I remember his just reaction for some reason that real stuck with me. Him just being like, "What? What?" He couldn't understand it. It was really funny. I think that was around the time he did snail porridge for Little Chef as well. Anyway, to bed I go to get something. No worries, Johan. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's always been a pleasure. Always lovely. And hopefully I'll see you Friday stream. We're doing whips on Friday, just in case anybody didn't hear me before. Friday is whips. So we're gonna try. I'm gonna try and really stick with it. Every other Friday we do whips. So if you got any work in progresses, you want to chat about what you're working on, you need a bit of feedback or anything, if it's within my power to do so, Friday's the day to do it. But it's always a pleasure having you in, buddy. Also, folks, we'll just do a quick... And where are we at? And if you've not done so, go and drop your hand a follow. Yeah, if you ever want to see working on it, is absolutely stunning Mortarian model. Drop them a follow. Please do so. And yeah, I'm a serial lurker, so I've been lurking away. That's my main problem. I'm always like, because normally if I'm in here, I'm doing something, so I'm just lurking away like, or I'm at work if it's in the day. The deck reminds me of the Mission Impossible Yu-Gi-Oh deck, where a player took a 2,000 card deck to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament full of cards that required him to search the deck for the other card. Yes! Back when there wasn't a limit on how many cards you could have in your deck in Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I remember that. I remember them carrying the deck in together, the two guys. It was so funny. Like the video of them just walking in, going doo doo doo. And after that, that's when they turned around and went, "Yep, there's a new rule now. There's a maximum of 60 cards in your deck." Wasn't it two judges as well? Wasn't that why it was so even funnier? It was two like Yu-Gi-Oh judges doing it, like to prove a point. So funny. If you ever want to see really silly trading card game stories, there's somebody on YouTube who I've followed recently called Loom, so L-O-O-M. And they basically, all of their videos are basically people at Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments or like Magic the Gathering tournaments who had like send in their like awful stories of things that happened. But I find them really like quite calming to listen to, and they've got like ones where it's like, you know, kind of like Reddit stories, but it's about trading card games. Really fun. If you haven't listened to them, they do some really good ones. Like a lot of them are Yu-Gi-Oh related, which is fine by me because a lot of them talk about the glory days of Yu-Gi-Oh. So I'm like, yeah. Oh. Yeah, the joke, aside from the mechanics being Mission Impossible, was that shuffling impossible in German. And I guess he was a judge. He felt like the Infinity deck limit was somewhat unreasonable. I love it, though. I love that idea. Well, there's a new thing coming, isn't there, for Magic the Gathering, where there's a card in the new Commander... the new Commander set. That is... oops. Yeah, the new Commander set that is... literally that. It's not. There's no limit, or it allows you to have any number of cards in your library. There's a lot of people kind of like, whoa, hold on a minute now. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, we should definitely play some more Edison format. I enjoyed playing Edison. It was good fun. I need to. I think I've got 2 decks viable for it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. That was a good time. I do miss playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like, you know, but as it was. To be fair, I'm kind of open to playing a bit of Genesis, but the downside I find with Yu-Gi-Oh these days is it's just, if you can't, like, modern Yu-Gi-Oh is a bit too fast-paced for me. It's basically, it's over at the end of turn 1 if you don't do the thing. And I think that puts me off a little bit. Whereas older Yu-Gi-Oh, like, you know, the standard first turn was set a monster in defense mode, place 2 in your back row, pass over to you, over to you. That was always quite nice. It was a pace and a tempo I liked. Sound like a proper old man. You girls too fast these days, you whippersnappers. No worries, Rusty. We'll catch you later, my friend. I'll see you Friday, and thanks for the luck wishes. Means a lot to me. Hey, honestly, I hope it all goes well. I hope you get some good news this week. And thank you so much for popping in, as always. Right, set that there to stand demo. Before the floodgates of hand traps, those were yeah. Back when there was only ever like 1 or 2 hand traps in the game, and it was like when someone played it, you were like, what? Like Effect Veiler, wasn't it? Was the OG hand trap. I don't know, well, yeah. I mean, I feel like Karibo was technically the OG hand trap, because it was like, nothing was ever... That's why I always tried to put a Karibo in my deck, because nothing was funnier at serious event than somebody attacking the game and going, way, and they start picking up the cards, and you go, discard Karibo to take 0 damage. And the response every time was like, well, who runs Karibo? And I'm like, me. Just trolling people like me. Always be aware that somebody may run a card. I really like in to be fair, in Yu-Gi-Oh these days, I really like the new overframe cards. They're so pretty. I feel like they finally started making their cards really, really pretty. It's all on Disney Plus now, I think. The original series of Yu-Gi-Oh is all on Disney Plus. It was on Amazon Prime for a while, but I think it's now been added to Disney. DD... Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it would have been the competitive one, wouldn't it? Yeah, DD Crow. You're right. You're spot on that one. Okay, I'm going to play Monster Reborns. Target this in my grave. Cool. I discard DD Crow. You now don't have that monster in your grave. Huh? Or I banish a light and a dark. Oh, when you declare your targets, I discard this to banish one of them. And when they got rid of priority, so it was like, oh, I can't even priority this anymore. Yeah. It was a good time. I definitely sound like an old man reminiscing these days right now. Like, oh, back in dirt it. Going to put a little bit of an extra layer on here, simply because it's not quite the shine I wanted to have on the main plate of it all. I think I'd gone a bit thin in places. Okie dokie. No, originally printed in 2007 Strike of Neos. Isn't that a really hard set to get a hold of now, Strike of Neos? Because isn't that the one which had, was Strike of Neos the one that had Air Neos? Which is, like, almost impossible to get because it got weirdly, it was something to do with when they used to give with how they did the rights for artwork and card design. And the person who had the rights for, like, Air Neos left the company, so they could never reprint Air Neos. So it was, like, really hard to find. Or was Strike of Neos Dark Neos? I want to say it was... Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around which way around it was. But, yeah. Right, everything's now in a position where I just need it to dry. So, that's probably a good point to wind down, I think. So, let's have a look. Where are we at? So let's have a look and see if we can raid off and spread a bit of love. While I work out that, let's switch back to the screen and say goodbye to the lovely peoples of YouTube. So, everyone who's been watching YouTube, thank you so much for watching. It is always very, very much appreciated. Thank you so much. It's always appreciated when anybody watches from whatever platform, but YouTube's brand new so to us doing this, so I really appreciate anyone's here. It really helps us out. But yeah, you'll catch us every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday live streaming. So tune in then if you want to see us do some mini painting, sometimes some video gaming. But thank you very much to everyone on YouTube who's tuned in today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you all. And always please remember to stay safe, stay positive, and above all, be an ambassador for your hobby. We will catch you later, YouTubes. Thank you so much.